How are you?
Hi. I need to get up.
Give us a hug. Be careful of this thing here. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
It's a great opportunity.
Thank you. So now, how long ago did you start your Global Quest coach program?
So it's over 2 years now.
Yeah, wow. That's actually quite a small amount of time if you think about it. You think about all the time that we've shared and what you've done as a coach and how far you've come. 2 years.
Tiny. It's nice to think about that because the change seemed really significant when I said, this is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
This is the program for me. And I was someone who knew that right from the start.
Wow.
I felt very certain.
How'd you know?
When the opportunity was sort of shared with me that I could, after starting, that I might too, soon with the help of the program, be able to find a paying client.
Yeah.
I went, well, why don't I do that before I start the program?
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
And on that excitement
and
kind of confidence, I'm certain I did, like, let's say at least a very average job. There was so much I didn't know, but I knew I was just so hungry to try.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Everything that we begin, we always have to start being a bit clunky.
Yes.
And then working it out. But that's how learning works. That is it. That's how learning works.
And it made me willing to learn because I'd been successful at other things.
Yeah.
And so I did have real misconceptions about what would be easy in this journey and what would be hard. I had that really wrong. I didn't know what was coming. I just knew that I wanted to find out.
So you now you've got a full-time business that you have. Congratulations, by the way. It's super exciting. And you've had it for for the last year, haven't you?
Yes.
About the last year?
Yeah. Lots of the clunky of starting and, what we call failing forward.
Yeah.
Lots of that.
Yeah.
But something sustainable and rewarding that I loved has been,
which is awesome. So really, just congratulations, first of all, because that's awesome for you to have. Now, when you first began, what was it that actually motivated you to start your program? So you obviously you found us somehow, but so what was it that got you to say yes to the Global Quest coach program, yourself, your goals, your dreams as a coach, and maybe share with us a little bit about where were you before then? How are you different to now versus who you were when you first began?
It's unrecognisable. I am unrecognisable. It sounds like an abrupt thing to say, but I'm a sole parent, 3 kids still under 10, and I had come out of family violence. And so everything about the life that I thought I had was kind of like that pile of mess. So I was definitely not someone who was trusting, and I was super protective. So I know that my thing was the kids. I know that I wanted something different for them, and I don't think that I knew that I wanted something different for me, to be really frank.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
That's so common. A lot of people share that. I think I like that in a way. I like that we have this vehicle of coaching because in the beginning it's okay to make this just about someone else. It's a good starter, isn't it? And
absolutely. Well, I think I didn't then make it so precious. That's what the hunger and the confidence and maybe the bravado was, because it was like, I want something different for all of us.
Yeah.
And I just knew that as a sole parent, the program seemed to offer me the chance that as a coach, I'd have some flexibility. Yeah. I'd be able to still get to be with the kids and be raising them and working.
So
and
important.
That was the most important thing. I had many other skill sets that all would have locked me into careers that meant I had no freedom to be
no flexibility,
in work.
No choice.
No.
Yeah.
So this was literally the holy grail based on its flexibility.
Yeah.
That I might.
A lot of people say that to us.
Do both.
Yeah, because coaching's not about just creating another job. We know a lot of people do that when they get into a business. They build another job that they don't really like versus a career or something that they can fall in love with, something that is their mission. It's like we were joking off camera just before that this is my job. Yeah. This is work. Just chatting with you, which is really cool, which is amazing. Now, when you said yes to yourself and you started the journey, what was that like? If you just go back to that time, what was it like being clunky and starting to do your first trainings with us and just starting to learn about coaching, doing your first coaching sessions? What was that like for you?
I remember feeling super dependent. Like I didn't know it as fear, but I was so glad there was people on the phone. I feel like I took up so much time of the people we could call, you know, back then to get support, anything from the team who'd got me started. And so that amount of belief in me, really, it was what was carrying me.
Yeah.
Somebody else continually.
Someone believing in you before you believed in yourself. It's a big one.
Literally carried me for 6 months, almost like in a dream state. I'll just keep going because they believe.
Wow. That's huge, hey?
Yeah.
Because imagine if you didn't have that.
I know that I would have opened something, found everything hard about it because life was hard, and put it down. I would have been it's amazing, the program's amazing, and I'm not going to complete it.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you found us then and that you reached out and you actually used the support. So, because we can't make you use the support, but that's awesome.
It's a good problem to have that you need it.
Yeah, completely.
I remember finding that hard. I wanted it, but there was lots of times where I should have called and didn't.
You didn't.
There was lots of times where
Well, so many people, thank you for sharing it. And I trust that this is useful and an inspiration for so many people that are watching, because we have a culture where people are shamed for asking for help. We have a culture where I think we train people to think that you need to have all your shit together all the time, and it's just exhausting to think that way versus allowing yourself to be vulnerable and saying, let's just help you get better. It's so easy.
And look, there was something simple for me because life needed to get better.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's unique to us that we have griefs and traumas and losses and even loss of identity, all sorts of things were going on. But I knew, the one thing I knew was something had to change. That was my, if there's a tipping point, something had to change. Yeah. And I think it was a really successful strategy to say, you know what, I'm going to make it this. Yeah. And I'll find out if it's not going to make it this.
Good on you.
And pour my attention at it. I think that's
awesome.
Key.
Now, what are you actually doing? Tell us, as a result of you've been 2 years inside the Global Quest Coach program, you're rocking out, you've got clients, you've got a full-time business. What kind of stuff do you do? Now, I know the answer to this, but if you can share with the guys watching.
Me so much. Look, I tried it all, and I did do some what we call business coaching because I was a sales trainer before becoming a coach and wearing that sort of name or title. As I did that and found that there was a lot I didn't know, and I found myself really just helping people with what had happened for me. So as I recovered from things that were hard in my life, I really wanted to be on that personal journey with people so that they would transform their thinking. And I had this, it's Marcus Aurelius' quote that he talks about: everybody wants a retreat and they want to go to the hills or the country or the beach, but the greatest retreat, the peaceful place, is in your mind. And I went, I want to be able to give that, because I had nothing peaceful in the dramas of my life. That was the thing that was lost. It doesn't matter if the circumstances got better. I had to find my way back to feeling peaceful. Yeah. And so as I was doing that work, that's the thing I wanted to transfer, which I definitely started one-on-one, and just seeing that everything I was learning in the program would actually work. Yeah. That's awesome. Like just applying the tools and just going, it worked for them. And all that feedback is really...
from your clients. The client feedback.
Yeah. So they're saying, I've had change, and I'm just going, I love this. Yeah. So that gorgeous dance of not knowing I was good or it would
I know
work.
what you mean. I did the same thing. I would think when I first started coaching, I thought, how's this going to go? Like, can I actually help people with this stuff? And then eventually they would say, yes, you've helped. And I'd think, interesting. This is actually working. This is interesting, isn't it?
True.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. And so you do your own kind of retreats now. Tell us about that.
So then I kind of reclaimed a lot about myself in this journey. And all of that protection that I'd come out of, that overarching frame, through the coaching that I had in my own life, which was available through the program, and support here, I then was able to choose to connect. Right. And that was like protection gone, connection, here we come. And that opened up something in me that kind of reminded me of who I was before. Yeah. Some stuff that had got deleted, I like to say, and forgotten. Yeah. And I love groups. I love community. I'm brilliant at engagement. And so all my work now has an element of one-on-one, but I work with people in groups. And so those retreats we go away and I create luxury experiences and we reclaim all sorts of parts of ourselves through the coaching practices.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What a gift to be able to give to people. Amazing. Hey.
And lightning speed. I love being able to say, this is unique. It's okay to say you're ready and for things to be, like you said, 2 years. Like it's tiny.
That's a tiny amount of time.
But it is that fast.
Yeah.
We're scared of saying it's the silver bullet and there's something scammy about change working and
I think a lot of people think that change happens in an instant, right? Which it doesn't. It's a journey and it takes time. But in the blip of someone's life, for something to shift in 6 months' time or a year, that is phenomenal. For it to really change, to go from A to Z, for example, or something like that.
And I see that, Matt, in my kids because they were young, but they got a different version of me in young years where it mattered, you know. And so my whole family benefits because they're getting a different mother as well as me being able to.
So that was my next question. So tell me about that. So tell me about how has your personal life changed? So your family, your children, who I've met, beautiful kids, that must be the biggest change because you can't
down.
The business. I always think business is awesome. Like let's help other people change their lives. Obviously, you're making money from that, which is fantastic. Good stuff. You can't really put a dollar figure on. I now have a better relationship with my family. Like there's just nothing else compares.
I remember one time in the program where
and I did that thing where I thought I was a great mum.
I made it really important that we would be a healthy family, that we would recover from what we've been through, and I made that intention. But this was another level of depth and possibilities of who these kids could become.
And there was a lot
that I hadn't learnt about
how to be me and
how to be me and how
what I got shown.
wasn't what I got shown.
My own family, and so I remember a moment where I realised, and it was through a coaching situation where I was getting supported and coached and learning as well, that I realised I couldn't let their love in. I thought those kids were only loving me because they had to. I couldn't believe that I still was in the role and not really there.
Wow.
These amazing,
little humans. I was just, and so as things like that changed, again, you can't. It sounds so simple, Matt. You can't put a price on looking at someone and going, we are really here together. We have something now. And that trust and that connection. It's so moving.
It's amazing. Congratulations.
And they now have become what they should be as my teachers.
Now I listen. Now I'm open.
Now I'm not telling them who to be
and how to be.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Now there's going to be so many people that'll be watching this right now all around the world that'll be inspired by what you just shared, which is amazing. Now, if you could look into this camera, what would you say to someone who's considering becoming a coach and starting their quest with us?
I've talked about my kids, but I know if you want
to empower anyone,
you must empower yourself.
You must empower yourself first. I know that now. And
for me, and I trust
it is for you. This is the program and the space and the community to do it with.
You're awesome, Prue. Congratulations. Give us a hug.
Thank you.
So
lovely to celebrate.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.